What's going on, guys? I'm Dave, and in this video I'm going to show you a few new places to eat at and hang out at in and around Denver that opened up this summer. Now that we're hopefully coming out of COVID in the US, a lot of businesses that had planned to open earlier are finally getting their chance to open, or they're now getting their chance to hit their stride. I wanted to give some love to a few of these places because some of them are huge additions and others are just really interesting for the area that they're in. So if you're looking for a few new places to check out this summer and beyond in Denver, here are a few places that might be worth checking out while you're out and about in the city. First, let's go big and start with McGregor Square, which opened up across from Coors Field, which is a huge addition to the whole vibe for Nuggets, Avalanche, and Rockies games. This is a huge entertainment complex that's kind of like Denver's LA Live or other cool entertainment venues that have popped up around stadiums in the United States. There's a solid number of sit-down restaurants there, and there's also a brand new food hall called Milepost Zero that opened up in July that's now really getting up and running. The sit-down restaurants include a place called The Original. There's also a Tom's Watch Bar, which is a really big sports bar with huge TVs that are a great place to catch the game. There's also a bar called the Rally Bar that's inside the hotel that opened there as well. So while it's pretty much just upscale American food from a sit-down restaurant perspective, Milepost Zero does add a little bit more variety, and it just kind of fits the scene being right across the street from Coors Field. And if you know Denver, you know that we love our food halls, and Milepost Zero has an incredible location in LODO, being right across the street from Coors Field and walking distance from Ball Arena. It's a pretty sweet location, and it's bigger than you'd think. It has a full bar and a bunch of self-serve beer taps, similar to what you've seen at First Draft if you've ever been there. There's a good variety of food hall veterans there, and they also have smaller versions of Denver area restaurants. I went on the first weekend the Milepost Zero was open, and only a few of the food stalls were up and running. It was kind of a soft opening, but once they're fully up and running, they'll have Italian beef, chicken sandwiches, ramen, ice cream, and more. Of the stalls that were open when I filmed this video, my personal favorite is Buona, which is an Italian beef chain out of Chicago. Pretty much all of their locations are in Illinois, and then they have this one random location in Denver, so that's pretty cool. Get an Italian beef dipped with hot peppers, you won't regret it. I made a whole video showing you the inside of Milepost Zero, and I'll link to that in the description. So whether you're in LODO, showing friends around, going to a Rockies game at Coors Field, or checking out a concert at Ball Arena, it's just really nice to have Milepost Zero here, and McGregor Square. It's a fun place to take friends, especially when they're coming from out of town. Especially if you live outside of Denver and you generally avoid the LODO area because you don't want to get stuck in Rockies traffic, definitely check the Rockies schedule before heading down that way so you know what to expect. McGregor Square and Milepost Zero are two of the biggest things to open in Denver this summer, so definitely check them out if you haven't already. Now let's switch things up and go from a giant place like McGregor Square and go to a small place that started with a food cart and turned into a food legend in the United States. The Halal Guys recently opened up a brick and mortar location in Aurora, and man is it great to have them here. It's in the same shopping center as a Five Guys, so it pretty much just puts two pretty popular guys next to each other. If you're not familiar with the Halal Guys, it was the first halal food cart in New York City in the 1990s, and it became so popular it became one of the most reviewed and most loved food places in the whole country. They specialize in simple but amazing platters of chicken and gyro meat served over rice. They do falafel, and they do gyro-like sandwiches as well. They're of course known for serving halal food, but they're also known for their legendary white sauce that's been often imitated, never duplicated. I have a lot of great memories of getting the Halal Guys in New York City when it was at the peak of its popularity, and even though the brick and mortar locations don't have that same street food vibe, there's something still really great about the simplicity and the awesome flavors that they have being available right here in Denver. If you've never had the Halal Guys but you love gyros and food like this, here are a few things to know. Get the white sauce. This is a huge part of your Halal Guys experience. It's what they're known for, and you gotta get it. When it comes to the red sauce, this stuff is hot. Be very, very careful. When you get the red sauce, they're going to ask you how many lines you want. I have a very high spice tolerance, and 4 lines is really pushing it for me. 3 would still be a good amount of spice, but if you are not someone who likes spicy food, maybe go with 1 line, maybe 2. It's freaking hot. Even if you have a really high spice tolerance, do not underestimate that red sauce. It's really hot. Even when you mix it with the white sauce, it's some of the hottest hot sauce you've had in years. If you're not one for spicy food, just skip the red sauce altogether and stick with the white. There's no shame in that. The main thing is that you don't want the hot sauce to take over your whole Halal Guys experience and make you not be able to taste the food. So if you know the Halal Guys or you're from New York City and you want a little slice of the city, definitely check it out. If you're enjoying hearing about these new places in Denver, please give this video a like to help more people discover them. Now back to the video. Let's go back to the big theme and talk about Pindustry in Greenwood Village, which is part bar, part bowling alley, part arcade, with one of the largest outdoor patios with one of the best views in the Denver area. This 50,000 square foot venue recently opened up on Arapahoe Road, and it's part of a whole revitalization that's going on in Greenwood Village that's going to add a Shake Shack, a Starbucks, a food hall, and some other stuff as well. I made a whole video taking you around Pindustry and showing you the inside, so I'll link to that in the description. They're definitely still working out the kinks. I know that some of the bowling alleys are having some issues and they're having trouble hiring people like everyone is right now, but it's definitely worth checking out. It's super cool. I know it's in the suburbs, but if you're already down there, this is one of the biggest entertainment complexes in the Denver area, and it's within walking distance to Fiddler's Green Amphitheater, so if you're going to a concert out there, you can check it out pretty easily. Pindustry is one of the biggest things to happen to the south suburbs in a long time, so it's worth checking out, and hopefully they work out the kinks. Now let's talk about a few places that aren't open yet, but they're opening very soon. While we're talking about Greenwood Village, let's talk about Grange Hall, which will be the Denver area's newest food hall after Milepost Zero when it opens up later this summer. That means we have 2 new Denver food halls opening up within a few months of each other. That's crazy. Grange Hall has been in the works for a while, and once it's fully up and running, they'll have barbecue, burgers, fried chicken, sushi, and more, and it will also have its own brewery, which is pretty unique for a Denver food hall. Crack Shack serves fried chicken, and it started in San Diego and expanded to Las Vegas. It's going to be one of the founding food stalls inside Grange Hall. People love this place, so it actually might be worth going to Grange Hall just for Crack Shack alone. There will also be pop-up concepts there as restaurateurs get to try out different things, and that will help the food hall feel pretty fresh because things will change all the time, kind of like they do at Avanti. Once Grange Hall opens, I'll hopefully be one of the first people there, and I'll make a video to show you guys what it looks like inside. If you love yourself some hamburgers and you've watched a lot of Food Network, you probably know about the Juicy Lucy, which is a burger from the Minneapolis area that puts really hot melted cheese in the middle of 2 beef patties. As a result, you get this lava hot cheese that oozes out of the middle of your burger in true Juicy Lucy fashion. Later this summer, Lucy's Burger Bar will be opening up on Tennyson next to Post Oak Barbecue, which is one of my favorite counter barbecue spots in Denver. We obviously have a lot of burger places in Denver, but there are only a few places that serve Juicy Lucy's. I haven't been to Minneapolis in a really long time, so I'm looking forward to Lucy's Burger Bar opening, and it's been in the works for a while, so I think it will be a nice addition to Tennyson Street. Depending on how things go, they're hoping to make Lucy's Burger Bar a late night spot, and it's always nice to have more of these in the area. And I know that we can't beat the original Juicy Lucy's or the original Halal Guys, but having options in the Denver area is really helping the food scene here become a lot more interesting. I recently hung out with a few friends from New York City, and they talked about how the Denver food scene doesn't compare to New York City, and I agreed, but I told them that things are definitely looking up, and they were actually pretty pumped to hear about these 2 places. While Lucy's Burger Bar will probably take away from the number of times that I go to Post Oak BBQ, I am looking forward to it being open soon. After what felt like a long hibernation period, there are a bunch of new places that are opening or even expanding in the Denver area. Outside of the places that I featured in this video, Third Culture Bakery, which specializes in mochi and matcha treats, opened up its 2nd location. The Doughnut Club continued expanding, serving up what I think are the best donuts in the area. Bartaco opened up in the Highlands, expanding upon the success that it had in Boulder, and also Korean quick serve spot Cupbop opened up 3 different locations in the Denver area. Food halls like Junction that opened up during COVID are finally fully up and running, and it feels really great to see these things become the things that they were supposed to be when they had to push pause for a year. Since you've made it this far, please give this video a like and share with that friend that you're going to go out and explore some of these places with. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch you out and about at Denver at one of these places soon.